Hey, we're live, everybody. Welcome to the Weird Girls Weekly Recap of all things awesome and everything that we talk about. We have so much to talk about. Game of Thrones finale was last night. Don't think we're not going to talk a lot about it. But first, let's see who we've got joining us tonight. We've got Amanda Dawn. Say hi, Amanda.
Hello.
She's wearing a Snuggie. It's a Louisville Snuggie. And we've got Elizabeth. Say hi, Elizabeth.
Go Spurs!
Go Spurs.
Go Spurs. She's been saying that pretty much all day, ever since last night. It's been Go Spurs, Go Spurs.
Go
And,
Spurs.
you know, why not? Because Go Spurs. Because they're awesome and we love the Spurs in this house. We also love the University of Texas. We have to apologize to Amanda Dawn for our baseball team knocking out the University of Louisville today. Sorry!
Yes, sorry about that.
Whatever.
We don't have
You stole
baseball
my
series.
stole my College World Series, and I just don't even like you guys anymore. You suck.
Oh, well. Sorry about that. Well, let's jump in. We got a ton of stuff to talk about. Let's talk about Game of Thrones because the finale was last night, and the producers of Game of Thrones saying that this was the best finale of the entire series so far. First off, do you agree with them, Amanda?
Hold on, I gotta recap the finales. Okay, let's see. We had Daenerys birthing dragons first season. That was pretty epic. Second season. Crap. What was the finale of the second season?
I can't even remember what the finale of the second season was.
It was after
Last-
Blackwater.
Yeah.
It was after Blackwater. Yeah, Blackwater was the one right before it, and I think it was just kind of a finale. It was like, oh, and here's the other stuff that happened. I think.
And when Daenerys took I forgot that city, but the whole Mysa thing was the last season or the last episode of last year.
Oh yeah, that's right. What did you think, Elizabeth? Do you think it's the best finale so far?
It's hard to say because we were so emotionally drained from watching the Spurs game, and then we watched the finale. It was this huge roller coaster, and I was exhausted.
I am gonna say I do think it was probably the best finale. There were some moments in other finales that were just freaking amazing, like the big moment with Daenerys a couple of seasons ago. That was wow. That was like stand up on the chair and start screaming kind of moment. But as a whole, yeah. I think as a whole, this one was probably my favorite one. I thought it was really strong across the board, and so much stuff happened. It was crazy how much stuff happened in this episode.
And not everyone died. That's a good thing. I mean, it's
Not
unusual.
everyone died. Some people did,
Some
but
people.
let's go
Some
one
people
step at a
did.
time. Yes. So let's go one step at a time here, and let's start with the one that generally is the most meh over here. Let's start with Brandon Stark.
I knew it.
So Brandon and Jojen and Mira and Hodor, they all finally found the weirwood tree that was somewhere way north of the wall. Yay, fun and exciting. When suddenly whites and skeletons start popping out of the ice and start attacking them, and it's this crazy fight scene. We've got some Brandon warging and Hodor and everything. It was crazy.
Skeletons from the
nuts.
Pirates of the Caribbean. And
Caribbean, I knew it the whole time. I was thinking that too. I'm glad I'm not the only person.
yes.
I didn't think that until right now, but now you've said it, I'll never be able to think of that again. So, thanks for ruining that part for
Like
me.
really,
Yeah. So they made it through all that stuff, but Jojen died. I did not really care. He actually, I think, told them ages ago that he was going to die through all this in the first place. So, whatever.
He knew when he
okay.
was going to die. So, nope, I'm not going to die today. Don't worry about me. I'm good. And he's like,
Yeah.
"Oop, this is where I'm going to die."
So it wasn't that big of a deal for me, but Jojen did die, and Brandon found the three-eyed raven, which turns out to be this basically guy who lives in the roots of the weirwood tree.
With Children of the Forest, which everyone had forgotten about.
That's right.
Yep.
I totally forgot of Children of the Forest, who were apparently there before the
First
men.
men.
Yeah, the first men were there. So the Children of the Forest have been around forever, and they said that they were not around anymore, but apparently they are around.
And they're good at cherry bombs.
They are.
Yes. They really that little children of the whatever, she blew up a lot of skeletons.
That was cool.
So what did you think of the whole thing where we finally saw Brandon make it to the three-eyed raven?
I was like, finally, we're somewhere, yay. I was completely on the edge of my chair when all of the skeletons and those guys were happening because I was like, literally, what is going on? There's no explanation. These aren't even walkers. What is this? I don't even understand it. And we're all freaking out at my parents' house, like my whole family watching it. We're like, what's going on? This is nuts. And I'm like, calm down, calm down. And then the little girl pops up, and I'm like, oh, the children. Oh, that's what the episode's called. Duh.
Yeah.
And then we go in there. I just didn't understand any of it because I know nothing about all that. That's the one thing that I just know zero about. So they were like, "What's this, Amanda? What's that?" And I'm like, I don't know. Just an old guy that looks like Sauron in a tree.
It does look like Saruman in a tree. That's all I knew. I mean, not having read the books, I knew nothing about them. It took me a minute to realize what was going on. I think Elizabeth, you actually told me that you read something. They were showing up and explained that part to me. So that I get. I have to say, I have no idea what's going on. I feel like there's finally some traction happening with Brandon's story, and I'm really happy for that. Really happy.
We just have to wait a year to find out what it is.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Like, what happened? What is he there for? What's going on? Like, I don't understand why he's there still. No clue.
Well, I mean, there's, he said you're not going to learn to walk, but you're going to learn to fly. So maybe he's going to warg one of the dragons because he had, like, the vision of the dragon shadow in one of his visions.
That is true.
He did.
Maybe that's where Drogon's going because he's been missing for a while.
Exactly.
That would be interesting. So you guys think that maybe Drogon is going over and then Brandon will be warging into Drogon this whole time?
I don't know.
He's going to fly somehow.
He's going over unless he's being lured that way by some other person.
Right. Now, see, I thought when he said you're going to fly, I thought it was talking metaphorically. He said you're never going to walk again, but you will fly. That was metaphorical.
Wings? Like, I just thought wings? I don't know.
He's going to ascend to a higher plane of something. I don't know. I'm not sure. I think it'd be cool if he did start working into dragons, but I don't know. I'm just glad that there's something going on with this story. Having said that, at no point this season did we see Osha or Rickon. No idea where they are.
They're still gone. MIA. Anybody know where they are? Please comment, because
I'm telling you,
another kid running around.
Book 21, we'll find out.
Yeah. Yes. Eventually, we'll find out. I don't know. So, anyways, that's Brandon and Rickon. Or I'm sorry, that's Brandon. Rickon's not there. But that's Brandon. I'm happy stuff is going on. I'm really curious, and it's really crazy because there are more and more factions fighting right now because you've got the White Walkers, now you've got the children, you've got all the armies in the north and everything fighting, you've got all the armies in the south fighting, and we'll get to what's going on there in a minute. But while we're in the north, let's talk about Jon Snow. Jon Snow he was going to try to kill Mance Rayder, and if he did, he assumed that all of the armies of wildlings would just split up again because Mance is the one that was really bringing them all together. I thought it was a great scene in there. Mance was like, he was cordial, he was treating him with respect the entire time, he was like, you lied to me once before, why'd you lie to me? It was a really, really interesting dynamic in that whole thing. What did you guys think of that interaction with Mance and everybody?
I think, he was respectful and kind of the same kind of personality as Ned Stark, so he kind of could see a little bit of father figure there. So yeah, I do think they are, very straightforward with each other. There's no, I don't know. I just think they have a very respectful relationship, and I don't know. I'm just glad he lived. I was expecting everyone to die.
Yeah, we talked last week. He didn't bring his direwolf. You're like, why wouldn't he bring his direwolf? He's gonna die now. Well, he didn't die. He lived, but the only reason he really lived because Mance caught him eyeing the dagger, and he realized that he was there to try to kill him. And they had this really tense thing. Is that the kind of guy you are? Kind of thing. But right then, there's all these yells and screaming outside. They're getting attacked, and who is attacking them? Stannis freaking Baratheon.
The only king that took, Maester Aemon's letter seriously.
Yep. He's the only one. Everybody else just blew him off. But Stannis went, got a ton of gold, got a ton of ships and a ton of men.
he looks so suave. I don't know why I was so freaking excited to see Stannis there. I was like, yeah! Finally, you're doing something besides whining, Grumpy Cat.
Because he's interacting with the rest of the characters. Fine.
Yes.
That's exactly
Well,
why.
I will tell you, I liked him because he was standing next to Sir Davos. If he was standing next to Melisandre, I would have been annoyed. But
She
the
did
fact
show
that
up.
he was with Davos was great.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah. And
no,
so easily, though, that, you know, the wildlings were like, okay, you know, whatever, we're on your side. I just thought it was so interesting how easily Stannis took everything.
yeah, that was kind of, it was interesting. I think, to me, that was kind of like Mance really realizing that there were a ton of well-armed soldiers surrounding them. I mean, they were completely flanked. They were getting closed in on both sides. I think he really does care about the people north of the wall. I think he really does care about the wildlings and doesn't want to see them die unnecessarily. And he's like, you know what? We give. You got it. Attacking the wall is one thing. You know, you've got 100,000 people attacking the wall. If you lose 1,000, great. But if you've got 100,000 people and you're flanked by thousands of well-equipped cavalry, you're going to lose a lot of people. So
Yeah.
I don't think Mance is really interested in fighting. I believed him when he said, "I just want to get my people through the wall and into the south because we need to get out of this winter as well, just like everyone else."
Yes,
Yeah.
I agree with that. I really trusted him on that. It was a great moment, though, and I love the exchange. And I love when Jon Stark revealed who he was. He was Ned Stark's son and everything, and that was a really cool exchange. You could see that little glimmer in Stannis where he's like, "Oh, you're a Stark. Okay. I mean, you're not technically a Stark, you're a Snow, but whatever. You're Ned
But
Stark."
he will aid me in my northern team, is what he was seeing.
Yeah, it was good. It was a good moment. The moment where he took Ygritte and started the funeral pyre for Ygritte. Wasn't that sad?
Yeah.
God, one of the times I cried that episode.
Oh, that was just sad. And,
That was the scene, the shot of him and his face kind of off to the side like this, and then Ygritte's back was burning, and him starting to like ball up and start to tear, and I was just like, oh god, it was so touching and so good. Oh.
And that's a great parallel to a scene we'll talk about a little later. Don't let me forget about that. But hopefully you know the scene I'm talking about. But while we're also here, let's talk about the funeral pyres that were going on inside Castle Black. After they got everybody captive and Jon Snow, there's so many great lines in this exchange, and one of them was that moment where he said, if you listen to my father, if my father experienced everything I had, he would tell you to burn all the bodies before nightfall. It was just this really cool moment. He's just looking square at Stannis and just burn the freaking bodies. So they were burning the bodies. And there was this weird moment where Melisandre was just staring at Jon Snow.
Yeah. Oh, do you see that face? Did you see that I want you face? Wow.
Yes.
Now, the rumors that I've heard, I don't know whether I should say this because this might be a spoiler or it might be a rumor. I don't know. Should I talk about what I've heard?
Yes.
Yes? Okay.
Yes.
Warning to everybody out there.
On the table. Go.
Give me like a couple of seconds to give you this, but the rumor mill is mute that Melisandre is Jon Snow's mom.
I was thinking something like that, and yeah.
I don't know. You don't think so, Amanda? You just shaking
No,
your
sorry,
head.
that's my dryer going off. No, I know who his mother is.
Okay, all right. Then we're just going to leave that there. Then it's not his mom. But there are some people saying she's his mom. Whatever it is, she's got some plans for Jon Snow.
Yeah, she sees in him, just like she saw in
Gendry.
Gendry, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yep. Well, there's some fun going on there. I'm kind of curious what's going to actually happen at Castle Black now, because who's going to be the commander of Castle Black? Is it going to be Jon Snow? But is Stannis going to take Jon Snow with him in his march to defend or take back King's Landing? I mean, I don't know how that's going to work, but I think Jon Snow's life in the Night's Watch is nearing an end.
I think what's going to happen, I do think that Jon and the Night's Watch are all going to become Stannis' army, just because of the sheer amount of people Stannis has, and how he knows he can take back what he needs. I think at the beginning of the next season, we're going to see a lot of conflict of Stannis wanting to go and reclaim the North and trying to get Castle Black people to go with them, and Castle Black people wanting to stay there. So I see that being a conflict, but I see Jon Snow going with Stannis because their next fight is going to be against Bolton because they're going to try to get Winterfell back. That's my thoughts.
I don't know. I think even Stannis knows it would be crazy to abandon the Wall. I mean, that's awfully risky. I mean, you just had this huge attack on it, and they're attacking because they're trying to escape other stuff from the North. I don't.
It's gonna be.
Yeah,
it's gonna.
I mean, that's the whole reason Stannis showed up.
I don't know. I think I agree with you on that. I mean, we've got to remember there are still the White Walkers that are up there, and they know the White Walkers are there somewhere. We know that the Wildlings want to get out of there because there's something coming. So I think abandoning the Wall would be risky. But I do think Baratheon and Boltons are going to go head-to-head pretty quick. Now, whether the Watch is involved or not, I don't know. But I'm pretty sure Baratheons and the Boltons are going to be head-to-head. I don't know. And Nathan Dayspring. Hey, Nathan. Thanks for watching again. Yeah, with what's going on with Melisandre giving that look, I don't know. She's definitely going to see something in him.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just wigs me out. Every time she looks at somebody like that, I'm like, oh, God, how are you going to kill them? I don't know. And Caleb's back, too. Hey, Caleb, how's it going? Stannis Bananas. I like that. That's good. Okay, so that's pretty much it on the North. Again, we're trying to keep our time in control here. Anything else about while we're up north, whether it be with Brandon or John or anything like that?
No, we're good. Move along.
We're good.
Okay, moving along. Let's. Oh man, let's go down and let's go to King's Landing and let's talk about Tyrion.
Okay. So,
oh man,
did you think that was gonna happen or what?
I did not think that was gonna happen. No, I did not. There was a. Oh.
Well, should we back up a little bit to Cersei and Tywin?
Okay.
Yeah, we probably should. Basically, Cersei went to Tywin and said, she said, I am not marrying that Tyrell guy. Forget it. I am staying here in King's Landing, and I'm taking care of Tommen, and she's making me think that she's turning into Lysa Arryn, but whatever. And she said, you're going to let me do this, or else I'm going to tell everybody that I've been sleeping with Jaime, and I will destroy this house, blah, blah, blah. And Tywin's like, no, you didn't do that. No. I mean, for someone who is so in tune with all the political machinations of Westeros, it's really hard to believe he did not know what was going on with those two.
Yeah.
I mean, was he that clueless?
I don't know. I feel like everything Tywin says is an absolute lie. So he could have been saying that just to get a rise out of her.
Yeah, could have been.
Oh, I don't know. I don't think he knew. I think you could tell he started fidgeting when she kind of brought it up, and he didn't know.
Yeah, I think it was a shock to him, and that's shocking to me for someone who was supposedly so in control of everything for that to happen, which will come into play later. But let's also talk about what Cersei did after that, where she found Jaime and said, I'm staying here, and I'm screwing you. And they did it again on the table, and whatever it is, and I don't know whether that was because she's really kind of gone back to caring for Jaime, or if that's manipulation to build an ally. I don't know. What do you think? Does she really care about Jaime, or is she just screwing with him mentally as well?
I don't think she cares about him at all. I think the only way she's going to get allies is if it's through Jaime. And she knows that Jaime was on Tyrion's side, so she was trying to swarm her way and get him on her side.
Yeah.
I don't think it has anything to do with Tyrion. I think it was more still like as if her father was in the room, like, see, screw you, like, I win, like I've told you so, and this is who I am. This is what's going on. Yeah, these kids who you have on the throne, they're not Baratheons.
Yeah, boom.
Yeah, that's the legacy. Lannister legacy pretty much dead because of her. So I don't know. It's tough. But let's talk about another ally of Cersei, because the Mountain's not dead yet. He's not dead yet.
Seriously, like what? Dang.
poisoned, and they were trying to save him, but apparently the mountain can be saved by, and I don't remember his name. He's the guy that was taken out of the whole like medical field or whatever because it was unethical practices and experiments and everything. Basically, he said that he might be able to save him, but he would be changed. Like, I don't care as long as he's strong. Do it. So, is she making a zombie mountain?
I think so.
Yeah, something like that. She's gotta have a right hand tough, and she knows. Seriously, even though people hate her, I will give her credit about she's gotten smarter, seeing that she has to build allies. Because the first couple seasons she was just dumb, making stupid decisions. Now I think she's actually got logic and reason behind her actions, which makes me mad. But whatever.
Because now she's got a chance. No chances. So the last thing that really happened in here was Tyrion was set to be executed the following day, and that night, Jaime Lannister opens up and says, "We're getting you out of here." He had worked with Varys to get Tyrion out, and he takes Tyrion out and says, "Go up those stairs, to the top of the stairs. Varys is waiting for you. He'll get you out of here, and you'll make it." They said goodbye. Jaime ran off. Instead of going up the stairs, Tyrion went to Tywin's bedroom.
He turned around.
And you know who we found in Tywin's bed?
Mm.
I was not ready for this one. I was not ready
for this. He found Shay. Shay was sleeping with Tywin. And she was calling him her lion.
Yeah, that was the twist in the dagger right there.
That was so painful, and I never saw that coming.
Deserved everything she got. For screwing with Tyrion like that.
You know what? So there was this moment where they looked at each other when she saw him in there, and there was this moment of like shock and disbelief, and I didn't really know how she was going to react, and then she grabbed a knife and started like, I'm going to kill you, or whatever. And I was really blown away at that point, and there was this fight, and Tyrion ended up strangling her, killing her with a gold Lannister necklace that was apparently given to her by Tywin. And that paralleled with that scene you were talking about, because he basically pulled her over the side of the bed and was like holding on to the choker and choking her down. The camera just pulled in close to her face, and then it just slowly panned over, and you just saw her face next to him, and he just started crying, and in the, oh my God, the most depressing way, just said, "I'm sorry." Oh, yeah. Was that just killed me. I mean, Peter Dinklage, damn son.
Well, I mean, and I don't remember if they ever brought this up in the show, but that was his second love, and they both pretty much turned out this same exact way. It was, his first love was a prostitute that Jaime had paid to, lose his virginity, and he fell in love, and of course, his dad pretty much took her away and killed her or whatever. But yeah, so it's like, oh my God, poor Tyrion. Yeah.
It was bad. Yeah. He didn't want to hurt her. He never wanted to hurt her. And the whole thing that she did, from testifying against him to really sleeping with Tywin, was because he said those things to her. And just that moment where he just said, "I'm sorry," just ripped my heart out. It was just sad.
Yeah.
And never saw it coming. But then at that point, all bets are off. All bets are off. He saw Joffrey's fabulous crossbow he liked to kill people with, and he went down and found Tywin Lannister sitting on the loo in the cricket.
That's just great. When he opened that door, and I was like, he's gonna kill him on the crapper. Yeah.
What a great way for Tywin Lannister to go after everything, being so regal, and he's sitting there on the crapper, and they just had this great thing, and you could tell the whole time Tywin was trying to take control of the conversation.
Oh, so hard.
Oh.
So hard, but then he kept saying key words, and small key words that kept pissing Tyrion off, and then it just saw that crossbow get, higher and higher, ready for him to shoot, and this, she's a whore, boom,
it
right
was
in the hip.
So perfect, because he said, "Call her a whore again," and they just kept talking, and I mean, as soon as the W came out of his mouth, "You're going to be about a dead Bam! He just no hesitation. It was perfect. Yeah, and at that point, Tywin said, "You're no son of mine." The truth finally came out. He never saw him as a son, even though he treated him, said he did and everything. And he just shot him dead right then. There's a part of me that wishes that he had just left. Do you guys wish he had just left, or are you glad that he went and looked for a little vengeance?
I'm
I'm
glad.
so happy he went. He got Tywin. So happy.
Yes.
He deserved every inch of that. He's been treated like crap his entire life, and he knew that if he got Tywin, he would be able to get out, unscathed. Because I feel like if he would have escaped, and Tywin would have still been alive, Jaime would have been hurt because he would have known that connection. Other things would have happened to people he likes. So I think that was another factor too. So.
Well, devil's advocate, Jaime is the guy that let him out, so we could have ended up hurting Jaime, because if it comes out that Jaime was involved, that could cause some problems.
Big time.
I think with Varys also on the boat, I think Jaime's okay.
Yeah, that was another thing. I felt really bad for Varys, because Varys, after waiting forever, when Tyrion finally shows up and Varys says, "What did you do?" I felt really bad. And he was leaving. He was heading back to King's Landing when he heard the bells ring. He's like, "Well, I'm screwed."
Seriously, that was one of the best moments of the whole episode, when he was walking like he does with his hands like this, and then he's walking and he just sees the bells and he's like, "Oh shit, no!" and then just goes and gets on the boat. He's like, "No, I'm not going back to that." And he was like, "I'm gonna go sit on the boat," and then he goes sits next to Tyrion. He's like, "Okay, you're."
It's just so interesting, because Varys always says his main goal is what's best for Westeros, and for him to turn around and leave at that moment, I think that gives us some idea of just how bad this is going to get, because this is going to get bad before it gets much better. Caleb's got an interesting comment that I did not notice. He says the necklace looked like it was the one that Tyrion gave her, and if it is, that makes it so much worse. Because she's wearing the necklace that Tyrion gave her.
I don't remember the necklace that he gave her.
I don't remember, but if it was it, that just hurts my soul a little bit. Oh, God.
Yeah, although I didn't think Tyrion was completely safe till he actually got on the boat. Like, I was convinced something was going to be behind the door when he got to the top of the stairs, and then when he got in the box, I was like, oh, he's just going to put it next to, the guy who took his junk. And then when I saw the box being lifted onto the boat, I was like, oh no, the strap's going to break. I was like, something's going to happen, and Tyrion's still going to die, but I'm happy now.
Yes.
I'm happy now, but where are they going? What's your possibilities? Where do you think they're going to?
Bravos.
Well, Bravos, yeah. That's my first thought. They've got to go to Bravos. Everybody.
But why? But why?
Why not?
No. I mean,
I seriously, I have two things. I think Bravos, yes, but I think they might go to Marine. I think they might meet up with Daenerys.
What? Why would they go to Marine?
Because I think that Varys knows about her enough to where if they bring in a Lannister and say he's on her side, something will, I don't know, trying to get more people on her side because he knows that's what's right for the realm, or he's just trying to get on the side that he thinks is going to win. I don't know. I like that possibility. I'd like to ship that. So.
Hey, we'll put it on the list. It's something that could happen.
I think it would still happen in Bravos, though, because I think eventually Daenerys is going to end up in Bravos on her way to Westeros. So I think Bravos is an easier place for Tyrion and Varys to kind of disappear, rather than Marine, which is like this newly conquered city. And yeah, I think Bravos would be a better place.
I'm leaning towards Bravos because there are people there that Varys knows. I don't know. We'll see. Nathan's got a great comment. With Tyrion being one of the smartest people and now being a killer, he's become one of the most dangerous people in the kingdom. Abso-freaking-lutely. Yeah. Because he was innocent. He didn't kill anybody, and he was going to be executed. But now he has killed his father, the Hand of the King. Okay. Now he is really a killer, and that's got to be freaking some people out at this point. I don't know what's going to happen, but I don't know. I'm really torn on the whole thing. I kind of wish that he had just left with Varys, but
Why? No.
I don't
No,
know.
King needed to be turned upside down. This
Well,
will turn them upside down.
Things are definitely turned upside down now. I mean, what's this going to do without anybody to enforce Cersei's marriage to the Tyrells? Are the Tyrells going to leave and with their money leave, which means the Lannisters are going to be deeper in debt? How are the Lannisters going to pay back Braavos without the Tyrells bringing their money into the equation? How's that going to work?
I think that's going to be the reason of the Tyrells staying. I think Marjorie and Cersei, of course, are going to butt heads, but there's going to be something to where she's going to still end up marrying Tommen, but maybe not Loras. But the money thing is what's going to make the Tyrells stay. Something's going to happen with that whole thing. So, my thoughts. That's my thoughts.
It'll be interesting. She's got a zombie mountain hanging out, enforcing her will without Tywin to moderate things. Tommen still being under her control, essentially. Who's going to be the new hand? I have no idea who's going to be.
Sir Pounds. I want Sir Pounds to be the new hand. All
Okay,
hail Sir Pounds.
All hail Sir Pounce. Sir Pounce it is. I think so. We kind of had a good segue there that I kind of distracted a little bit because I want to get to Nathan's comments. But let's talk about Daenerys because, wow, this one really got me. This little...
So sad.
Yeah,
I was poor
sad.
Oh my god, the babies.
So basically, it turned out where Daenerys was having more audiences, and Daenerys, that's pretty much all she has time to do now, is just hear people who have something to petition to the Queen. And one of the people came up, and it was one of the villagers who was saying, my daughter. And it turns out that Drogon had come down and just torched his daughter, and this is the thing. Drogon is MIA. They don't know where he is, what he's doing, but he's tearing up people and killing people. And Daenerys realizes that she can't control her dragons as much as she wants to. She can't. So she takes them down into the catacombs, the two that are left. I can't remember the names. What are the names?
Oh, that's Viserion and Rhaegal.
Rhaegar.
There you go.
Yeah.
Who were, I mean, the more well-behaved dragons, if you will. She took them down in the catacombs and lured them down there, and while they were eating lunch, she put these chains around her neck and locked them in the catacombs. And it was heartbreaking. Just, I mean, what... I don't know, seeing the tears streaming down her face, because here's this woman who, those are her babies, you know, those are her children, and she's had this huge thing about freeing people from chains and making them not slaves, and then she locks her children in the catacombs and chains them down.
You know that was a hard decision for her. I felt for her. I know the feeling when I have to put my dragon in a box and ship them. I know the feeling. It hurts. But that was all she could do. She had no choice.
It was rough. I think what got me most is, you know, when she was walking out and the dragons realized she was leaving, and they're like, oh, wait, hold on. And they can't go after her, and they just started screaming after her and everything. That just totally killed me. I'm a sucker for dog movies, and these are like dogs. They're like little puppies. Killed me.
So sad. I was sniffling big time. I was really upset. I was very sad. That's my girl, and those are her babies, and I'm like, fuck, so much. This was not a good episode. This was not a good season for Daenerys, as in problems she faced, man.
Yeah, I mean, it started off great. She was just marching all over these places like, I'll take that city, that one, we have this one over here. But then she had to rule, and now things are starting to fall apart for her as she's starting to have to rule. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm a little concerned about the future of Daenerys because there's some cracks in there. You know, Nathan had another comment that was talking about how weak the crown is now with the child on the throne. Small council's pretty much gone because Varys is gone, Tywin's gone, Littlefinger, he was replaced, but let's face it, the dude was good on the small council.
He was replaced with, what's his name, Tyrell, wasn't he?
Oh, yeah, that's right. He was replaced by Oberyn. So now Oberyn's dead. So the small council is like nothing. So who is really going to be ruling Westeros right now? It can't be Cersei because that girl can't rule. I'm sorry. She may be smart, but she can't rule.
Can't, but she's going to because Tommen is the king, and he will name his hand. His hand will be his mother.
Or could his hand be Marjorie?
Oh. Ooh, that'll be an interesting fight. I'd love to see that.
Would be awesome. I would love, because Marjorie's already gotten in there a little bit. If she just said, Marjorie, I think you should be the hand. Oh, man, that would be,
Is there a rule that women can be hands of king? A hand of the king? Is that a rule?
I don't know.
Somebody look that up. Somebody get the Westeros rule book out and find that out. I want to know.
What are the rules? What are the Westeros rules? I don't know. Oh, my God. Okay. So, yeah, Daenerys was tough. That was freaking heartbreaking, seeing her lock up the dragons. I don't know what's going to happen, because the dragons were a big part of her plan of conquering Westeros, so I don't know how she's going to get control of these things. The Targaryens have a history of being able to control their dragons, so there's some way to do it, but I don't know how she's going to learn.
She'll get it together. I know, the only reason I know this is because I've seen fan art of her basically like battling Drogon in like a gladiator setting, some kind of weird like battle of dominance, and she ends up like winning, and that's the ultimate way to get her dragons under control. But she'll get it, but it'll be a while. It'll be probably heartbreaking, but so something's gonna happen.
All right. Let's move on to the last thing. We're pushing our time limits on this one. Nathan actually said on Twitter earlier we were going to struggle with our time limit this week, and we are. We're already at half an hour, but let's jump into, I think that's the last big thing we got to talk about, which is Arya and the Hound.
And Brienne and Pod.
Yeah, which actually is Brienne and Pod as well, because it basically turned out where Brienne was heading towards the Eyrie to try to find Lysa, and she stumbles upon Arya practicing with Needle. And that moment where Arya and Brienne first met and started talking, and it's like their youth, their childhood growing up had so many parallels.
Oh my gosh, yes.
They should be best friends. But then the Hound comes back from taking a crap and points out that she's obviously working for the Lannisters, and Arya just shuts down.
Yeah.
And at that point, all bets are off. And that really killed me. I mean, I really wanted her to go with Brienne.
I didn't want them to fight. I wanted all four of them to be together and be this weird dysfunctional family.
Yes. I did too.
We all did. I was on the edge of my seat during that fight, because that's the first time I've ever seen a fight on Game of Thrones to where you like both sides, and you're like, I don't know what's in. I'm just like, I was doing this half the time. I was like, I don't know. It was like a horror movie, but I was just so on my edge of my seat.
It really was, yeah, because they eventually had to fight. You know, Brienne and the Hound were really just kind of pissing at each other for a while until they finally drew swords and started fighting. And you're right, the whole time, I didn't want either one of them to die. Neither one of them. But I knew one of them was going to die. And that was the only time, just like you said, that's ever happened in Game of Thrones. And I hated it, you jerks. That was painful. And let's give some real credit to Brienne. And, you know, you think that she's just this honorable knight, but when push comes to shove, she's going to bite your ear off. She's going to smash your head with a rock. She's going to do whatever it takes to freaking win.
Yeah.
Holy crap, that was a fight.
Man, I love Brienne of Tarth. She is one of my new favorite characters. I really started to love her these past 2 seasons, and I will say I was really happy she won. I will say I'm really sad the Hound is gone, but the Hound has nowhere else to go.
Yeah, and that's one thing I was thinking. Let's real quick, you know, Brienne eventually did win. She basically kicked the Hound off a small cliff, and he went tumbling down. And she went back to find Arya, but Arya was hiding at that point. So she was hidden. She was not going to be found. She eventually just walked down and found where the Hound was, and he was lying there, bones sticking out of his leg. He's in bad shape, and he's going to die. He hasn't died yet, but he's going to die. There was this moment where he was, you know, he asked her, you know, do you remember where the heart is? And she's like, yeah, because clearly he wants her to kill him. He doesn't want to die in agony out here. And it was just this amazing moment where she just sat there and looked at him. He begged her, he threatened her, he reminded her of all the horrible things. He lied to her about the things he wanted to do to Sansa to try to provoke her. And she just sat there staring at him. She ended up not killing him and just walking away. Was that? I mean, was that mercy? Did she do that because she was being mean, or did she do that because she cared about him? What did that mean when she left?
I think she remembered how he, like robbed and kind of beat up the like single dad farmer and just did a bunch of other crappy stuff, and that's just what he deserved.
Oh, hey, look at that kitty.
That's a big cat.
I agree.
So you think that's what it deserved?
Arya was giving him a slow death because she was realizing the crap he's done. But in the same case, I don't know, frankly, because she had not had feelings, but like father-daughter figure, she knew that too. But I don't know how much if like he cared a lot for her. I don't know if the feeling was mutual.
Yeah, the show is just good at making you forget that someone's a bad person.
Well, that's exactly what Eric just said on the comments. He said the Hound is the only time a death scene of a character it was easy to hate a few seasons ago suddenly turns into a heartbreaking scene.
Yep.
Yeah. True. Everybody hated the Hound at the beginning of the show, and now watching him die was so hard. I'm actually kind of in the mindset that Arya actually really cared about the Hound because, she wanted to take care of his wound. Yeah, she was reciting his name and everything like that as one of the people she was going to kill, but she wanted to take care of his wound. They had traveled together all this time. They got a certain level of trust. She didn't like what he did, but she knew he cared about her. And even before Brienne and him started fighting, she asked, and that's what you're doing, taking care of her? And he said, yep. So, I mean, she knew that the Hound cared about her. And I think it was probably too hard for her to kill him. I think that to me, that was still a little bit of a soft spot in Arya, and I was kind of glad to see it. I feel bad for the Hound, but I don't know. Maybe I'm interpreting that different than anybody else. No, I don't know.
I can see that way too, but I just think Arya has gotten so cold that she's ready to move on.
Yes. And from a narrative standpoint, what else is she going to do with the Hound? I mean, what are they going to do, just wander around Westeros together? La, la, la. No, they needed her to move. So it was something that needed to happen for her to really grow, which leads to the very next point where she goes off on her own, finds a small little coastal fishing village, or shipping, or whatever you want to call it, and wants to get a boat. And here's what I found was really interesting. When she got to the boat, she said she wanted to go to the Wall. She wanted to go north, because she knows that's where Jon Snow is. So I think that she still wants to find her family. She still wants to be there.
Yeah.
They wouldn't take her, which sucked.
Yeah.
They wouldn't take her. But that's when, he said, we're going to Braavos, and she said, oh, wait, I got this. She pulls out that iron coin, says, Valar Morghulis, and the guy's like, what? Okay, yeah, Cabin, you're here. Let's go. And she is off to Braavos.
Yeah.
What do we think of this?
I don't know what to think, except I hope she becomes like a faceless assassin, because that would be cool.
Yeah, that would be cool. I mean, I am really sad that she's not getting with her family. She was this close. How many times? She was this close to Robb. This close to Sansa.
We have to deal with it. The Starks are never going to get back together. Ever.
Yeah. It's a Taylor Swift song just all season long. That's all it is. No. They're never, ever getting back together. And it's frustrating. I still think she wants to, though, because, like I said, her first words were, I want to go north. And
I was referencing the fact that you compared Taylor Swift to Game of Thrones.
I can make any reference to it. I
didn't. There's a cat, but
so yeah, I think that she is going to go there, and she is going to start training to be an assassin. Now, what is that going to do for her character? What's going to happen? No idea. But I have to say, at that very last scene where they were like sailing off, that was probably one of the most hopeful scenes of the entire season.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but it made me feel like, okay, this could work out.
Yeah. I can see that. There are a lot of people escaping on ships this episode. Get on ships. Go on. Bang. Bye-bye.
That is true. Wouldn't it be great if Varys and Tyrion went to Braavos and found Arya?
That'd be awesome. You know what I also thought was going to happen? For like a split second that I kind of rethought about it, I thought Varys and Tyrion were going to the Vale. Because for
Oh.
some reason I thought Varys and Littlefinger have been talking about stuff lately. I don't know. But then again, I kept thinking about it. No.
I wouldn't go if I was Varys, because Littlefinger, whoa, no way.
No. He knows his name.
Yeah, and they don't know that what's her name is dead. And I mean, last time Tyrion was there, she tried to throw him through the door. So.
Oh yeah, nobody knows that Lysa's dead right now. So.
That's true. That's true. Okay. Never mind. Good thing you're not going there.
So much going on. Yeah. Let's see. Eric had a comment. He said he's shocked they let Tyrion kill his father. He had it coming, but it was still shocking.
What? It was very shocking.
Yes, definitely, but
Yeah.
in a good way.
I mean, I wanted to see Tywin get it, but I wanted to see it from a Stark. That's just me.
Yeah, me too. But I think, honestly, Tyrion is just as good as a Stark getting them.
Yeah.
All right, that's fair. And you know what? I'm kind of hopeful that if Jon does team up with Stannis and they end up going head-to-head against the Boltons, that we're going to see Jon Snow taking back Winterfell. And that would make me happy.
Oh, I guarantee you that's what's going to happen.
I wanna see
I guarantee you Jon Snow is going to go with Stannis, and they are going to take back Winterfell. And
All right.
he's going to be part of the Baratheon, because already the Baratheons and Starks were already close.
All right, so if that happens, I'll buy you a beer. If it doesn't, you buy me a beer.
Okay.
Done. We're
Done.
making wagers, people. That's legal,
Ah.
right?
Let's hope we remember this in a full year.
God,
Yeah.
no kidding. God, and that's the worst part of the finale right now is we have to wait a year before the show comes out. So
No.
anything else about Game of Thrones right now?
It's just
I'm really sad that we're going to stop talking about them.
yes.
Because that really cuts my shows that I watch in half with these recaps.
We gotta get you watching more TV, girl.
So,
Hey,
yeah.
Garrick has a good comment on here. He said, "No one can trust Littlefinger." I agree with you, Eric. Nobody can trust Littlefinger. So I wouldn't head to the Vale right now.
Nope.
Does think that Sansa would work with Tyrion, and I tend to believe him. I think that Sansa would work with Tyrion if that
Yeah.
ends up being a thing. She may have been forced to marry him, but I think before all the crap happened with the wedding, I think that they started to develop at least a friendship. So I think that they would work together. I think that would be kind of awesome. And I can't wait to see what Sansa is going to be like next season, going full Mockingbird.
Full
I don't know.
Mockingbird.
We'll see. We'll see.
She already is full. She went full Mockingbird.
Nathan had a comment. Apparently, I didn't watch Will Wheaton's show, but apparently it's got covers with them cutting Merida into Ygritte's death. Have you seen that?
What?
Apparently, Will Wheaton's show has some deal where they've put Merida in Ygritte's place, so they're kind of cutting Merida in with the death of Ygritte. I don't know. I got to see that.
Oh,
He said he couldn't help but seeing Amanda Dawn behind the bow. That's.
I just,
Aw.
Oh, don't be sad. Don't be sad, Amanda. It'll be okay. I didn't know that. She's gonna cry. Way to go, Nathan. You made her cry. Gah. All right, let's move on because yeah, me and my beer bets, Eric. There's another one. I'm waiting on yours. We've got. What else we got to talk about here? Let's talk about. Okay, so we were gonna watch Penny Dreadful. We didn't watch Penny Dreadful because there was a Spurs game. So yes, we're farther behind. Soon. Apparently, the show's gotten really good though. So we'll watch it. We'll get caught up at some point. Let's jump into Heroes of Cosplay.
I'm sorry, I missed this episode. I was at Lindsey Sterling concert.
What is that all about? But you know what? I'm going to go see Lindsey Sterling in a few weeks, too.
She's so awesome. It's such a good show. You'll love it.
Great. She's great. I saw her at VidCon last year, and I won these tickets this year, so I'm excited to go see Lindsey Sterling. If you don't know who Lindsey Sterling is, look up dubstep violin, and you'll find it. It's all over. Okay, so here's a cosplay we're going to talk about because they were in Miami. It was Animate in Miami. We actually just finished watching it because we missed it last week, so we just finished watching it before this. It's very fresh in our minds. There's a guy from Austin. Competing. I know this guy. We met this guy at RTX last year. He's a good guy, and he's competing. So that was interesting.
It's kind of a goober, but yeah.
Where did you find the Heroes of Cosplay episodes? Are they on sci-fi.com? Because I was trying to find them and I couldn't find it.
They're on sci-fi.com. Yeah, if you go to the Heroes of Cosplay section of sci-fi.com, you have to. It's not clear. There's a place where you can say full episodes, and you can go there.
And we couldn't actually do it though.
Provider and all that stuff. Yeah, we ended up going on demand with our cable, so we watched it.
Time Warner doesn't work with sci-fi for some reason. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, well, then there's no way I can get.
I cannot wait for Fiverr to go live in Austin. I'm just going to say that right. Because Time Warner could just go. Yeah. Let's see. So we had all these things going on. They were in Atlanta. There were a few groups. So it looks like Jessica, Holly, and Chloe, they're just going to be together all the time. That's just their thing. They're going to be a group. They did a Dragon Age Inquisition cosplay, which was really good. I liked it. Was it Jessica or Holly that wore Morrigan? I don't remember who it was. One of them wore Morrigan.
Jessica, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was Jessica. Okay, yeah, Jessica wore Morrigan, and she had a seamstress, take in her dress and do work on her dress to kind of get it taken care of. They ended up winning the group competition for their Dragon Age.
I gotta look this up.
The question of the day is, since a seamstress did a lot of the work, should they have won the best group cosplay for that? And they did prejudging, so they did say in prejudging that a seamstress had done the work. Should they have won?
No!
I think Amanda has an opinion.
No, it shouldn't have won. That's not fair. It's different if you're wearing a whole bunch of armor and you need your underwear sewn by a seamstress. Okay, that's different. But if it's your dress that you physically had somebody else make, even if you said, I didn't make this, that's not fair. I'm sorry, I'd be mad as a seamstress. Just saying.
Now, I'm not sure. I think that they may have made the dress in the first place, but Jessica lost a lot of weight, and she took it to a seamstress to take it in and adjust for her new size. Do you still feel that way?
The big reason they won is because this was not a costume they made in a week. It was something they had put a lot of time into because they were working with the creators of Dragon Age, and so this wasn't. In fact, Chloe actually went as a character that hasn't even been revealed yet.
Yeah. So she cosplayed a character that was not even revealed yet. So they had actually gone into BioWare, looked at some of the elements that they were using for the design, and apparently Jessica and Holly had already been working with BioWare on some costumes and giving them some feedback on stuff. So they've already made some of these costumes. These were way in advance, and they looked really good. But again, they already had them. They've been working on them for a long time. So they won that. The new guys, there was a guy from New York and a guy from Austin. It was interesting. Now, Eric's got I'm going to read Eric's opinion first because Eric's got a strong opinion. I can't remember his name. What is the guy from Austin?
Carl.
Carl's the guy from Austin. Hate the new guy. His terrible Silent Hill costume, his attitude, ordering the damn chocolate milk at the bar, shirtless crap. Ugh, I hate him. Eric has opinions too.
Definitely a goober.
What happened with this guy and chocolate milk? I was seeing stuff on the internet about that, and I didn't know what that meant.
He's 23, but he's acting like he's 8. They went to a bar and they're all drinking martinis or whatever, and he orders chocolate milk and sat there blowing bubbles in it because that's what he likes to do.
Well, we all are weird. I swear to God. Okay,
yeah,
whatever. I saw a lot of people, like both sides, that were freaking out. I said, he's like really stupid and immature, and then like the other half was like, if he wants to order chocolate milk at a bar, let him. Not all of us drink. Blah 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 blah. I'm like, ugh.
I didn't have a problem with him ordering chocolate milk at the bar. That's fine. The thing that bothered me about it, and again, I've met Carl, I've talked to him, we met him in RTX, he's a nice guy and everything. While he's sitting there talking at the bar, they would ask him questions about, what do you work in? He's like, I work in it all. There's pretty much nothing that I don't work in or nothing I can't do. I pretty much do everything, and when I try something, it usually ends up working out really well. And he just came across really smug, and that kind of bothered me because when you look at his Silent Hill costume,
right now, and it just looks like a bunch of PVC piping.
And the chocolate milk, I don't think it was that he ordered chocolate milk because and it wasn't even that he was blowing bubbles in it. It was that he was like saying, look at me blowing bubbles in my chocolate milk. It was like he was drawing attention to it. If you want to drink it, that's great. But he's like sitting there like, a little kid saying, "Look at me and my bubbles."
Yeah, and I think he kind of ruined that for a lot of people. I think he did a super aggressive, complex cosplay that's very obscure. Not many people, unless you're a big fan of Silent Hill, are going to know who this character is, and it's
I
really
actually
hard to
use
do
that
one.
more than.
Say that again?
I said I think I'm more familiar with Silent Hill than anything else I saw, but yeah.
Oh, well, there you go. We'll let her go. But I think a lot of people had that. Nathan also said the kid with the Silent Hill cosplay and his super ego killed the last show for me. The guy, yeah, he was like, he really wanted to win. And when he didn't win something, you could tell he was just really, really disappointed. And it just wasn't where it needed to be. I mean, the guy's clearly got some good skills. I've seen some of his work, and he can do good work, but he just wasn't there. Now, the shirtless thing, I'm going to defend him because he was at an anime convention, and he was actually cosplaying, and I cannot remember the thing about it, but it was a thing on Tumblr that turned into an actual anime, but it was about male swimmers, male competitive swimmers. And he was cosplaying as one of those cosplayers, or one of those swimmers in this. If somebody knows that anime that they just made, based on Tumblr, male competitive swimmers, let me know. I can't remember the title of it right now. So he was actually cosplaying, but I get it. He's in a bar, not wearing a shirt, and everybody else was like, "What are you doing? What? That's okay, whatever."
And now the show goes downhill. See, and everybody was all ranting about it. They were like, the first 2 episodes have been great. There's been no drama, blah, blah, blah. Now there's drama.
There's drama. There's drama. These guys, and the other guy, the guy from New York, I mean, he had a good cosplay. Eric thinks he should have won. He did Dark Greymon something. It was a Digimon character.
Digimon character. And I'm looking at it right now. It actually looks better than I think the other guy's PVC piping costume.
Oh, yeah, it looks much better. Much better. Yeah, he did a really good job with it. I'm not sure he should have won something because the other cosplays that we just got glimpses of, I think were really good. I mean, the guy, the Warhammer Space Marine, that was killer. I mean, Eric, I know you think that Digimon should have won, but come on, that Space Marine was badass.
He said won something, so I think it was better than some of the judges' awards.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so.
All right.
Maybe not Best in Show, but I think it could have won at least one of those.
I thought it was pretty good. I did think it was pretty good. I am shocked that he got that resin to work, trying to make resin work in New York when it's like freezing outside, and you're going to put resin out there. But whatever. I do think it was a good cosplay. I don't know if I would have. We'll see. We'll see. But I mean, that was Here's Cosplay. There's drama now. Yay.
I just still think it doesn't have like an identity, or it doesn't know what its identity is. Like, I don't know. It either needs to be about like really good costumes, like the Dragon Age ones were really good. That's why they finally actually won something, because they put in more than a week. Or it needs to be just a sci-fi. You get 1 week, but they're not competing against people who put in months and months and months. They're just, it's like Face Off and stuff. They're just competing against other people who only put in a week, and it's got to be one or the other. And then I have a question, because I'm not a cosplayer, so I don't know. I'm kind of curious. Like, I thought it was odd that Chloe did a character that's not even revealed yet. Like, to me, like Miguel was talking about how like there's all this passion and stuff in cosplay. How can you be passionate about a character that doesn't even exist yet?
Because she's being paid to put that character on because they're making hype for the next episode.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
In fairness, some cosplayers do their own unique creations, so
but it's something they care about, though.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
It's like expressing something about yourself that you see in that character.
Yeah.
It is, and there are. I've met people that will do a character just for the art of it, just because they like the look. They could care less what the character's personality is or what the person does. I've met people like that.
That's my other thing. Is like you can only do cosplay, or at least I guess you can only compete if you're a seamstress or have some skills. Like if you just really want to do cosplay, but you don't know how to sew, you're screwed.
Oh, you can compete. You can do whatever you want, but just don't. I mean, realize that your level of work might not be to the same level as somebody else's.
Sure, but it seems like there is such a big thing. Either it's. I mean, I'm sure you could walk around the floor and not compete and would care, but
exactly what I. And that's why people ask me. They're like, "Well, why don't you compete? You have Drogon. I mean, good God, get and win in every single competition." I'm like, no, I won my one. I'm happy with my trophy, and I'm done. I don't want to be that type of person that just convention hops and collects money. To me, that's not cosplay, but to others, it is. Whatever.
It's whatever.
It's so different with people and what they do and why they do it. It's so all over the board.
It seems like it should be like 2 different names for 2 different things, because one is just because you want to do it, and the other one is a contest for craftsmanship.
Yeah, and I would like to do contests for craftsmanship. I do, because I like competitions, and I'm a very competitive person. But I'm not the type of person that would put the same costume in every single one and just sweep everybody because I have a damn dragon.
Yeah. Yeah, using the same costume over and over again. Whatever.
Yeah. A lot of people like though. So many.
Yeah, I do agree with you, Elizabeth. I wish that they would find a better identity with the show. Like, either make it a week-long thing where you say you have a week to make this cosplay and just judge those people who had a week, or give them the time to build it and follow in building the process. It needs a stronger identity, and what it's got right now doesn't work for me. And I understand Yaya Han is the queen of cosplay, but she bugs me every time she's on screen.
Whatever. She's the queen of cosplay. That's a lie.
She hasn't made anything this season. All the stuff she's making are costumes that she's already had that she might like tweak. Like, oh, I need to make these. I mean, that was like the one bit of drama they tried to add to it. Like, she was going to add these petals to her white rose princess thing or whatever, and the soldering gun stopped working. And it's like she got into this like fake fight with her fiance. Like, it's not working. I mean, it's not heating up. It's not working. And, just leave me alone.
I swear, this show is not working out for her, and she does not know that, but it is not working for her at all.
It's unfortunate. But Eric's got a good point. I do want to tease. So Eric Ratcliffe, who's a longtime watcher and supporter of our show and everything, he's actually going to be on a TV show. What? It's going to be on a TV show, and it's all about fandoms. And this might be the kind of thing that we're looking for, because they really look at people who are big fans about things, and they follow them, and they talk about how fandoms have affected their lives. Should be coming out in 2015. But I'm really kind of excited to see how this goes, because this sounds like the kind of show that we've been looking for, and we were kind of hoping Heroes of Cosplay would be.
Yeah, what's that show called, Eric? Please write it, because I think I have an idea of what you're going into.
Oh, really?
Is it called Fan Moguls?
Yes, it's Fan Moguls.
That's so funny, because I was recruited to do that show, and I said no.
There you go. You could have been working with Eric on the show.
Yeah. They found me randomly at Wizard World Louisville, and like the head lady was like, "We want you to be our female lead for the show," and I just like, it came off real sketch. I was like, "Oh, thank you," but I hope it turns out awesome and sounds cool. But it's fun for me.
Sounds like they're going to air. He told me some stuff about it, and if it's doing some of the things that we think that it's doing, then I'm going to be very, very happy with this show.
Good. Well, I hope so too. I wish you all the lucks.
All the lucks. But I really do hope, because I think that we all want to show. I think we know the show we wanted Heroes Cosplay to be. It's not there. I think we all still want that show to happen.
Yeah.
And oh yeah, Nathan did have a comment on that. Anyone think the girls winning best group had anything to do with the show product placing the game? Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's all over the website right now. It says here is on Chloe's introducing the first Dragon Age Sarah, Dragon Age Inquisition, Morgan, blah 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 blah.
Dragon Age. And hey, I adore Dragon Age. It's one of my favorite RPGs ever. So I'm supportive of it, but yeah, they won because they were being promoted and they were given a lot of money to do it. And Eric does have a good point. It wasn't a terrible episode, minus Carl, honestly. Carl really kind of bugged me in this one.
He's just a goober. He has good intentions. He just doesn't know what to do. He's like a puppy. He doesn't know how to like move, and he's just, he's young and goofy.
Yeah, that happens.
Yeah.
Yep.
Where are they going next tomorrow? I guess I could say that.
Portland. They're going to Portland.
They're going to Emerald City?
Guess so.
They didn't say Emerald City. They just said Portland. So I don't think it's Emerald City Comic Con. I think it's like a Portland Wizard World or something. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
We watched on demand, so we didn't get any next time.
Yeah. We didn't get any of that stuff. Sorry about that. Jay Salinas, are you talking about free? I don't know what free is. What is free? You may know what free is? I don't know. Okay,
Ugh.
that is.
Yawning. Oh gosh, I'm tired.
That's okay. It's late where you are. You're like at 11:30 over there. And yeah,
11:30.
Eric, it does sound like Amanda was almost your co-host. So hey.
Sorry, I was there, but it was kind of weird to me. The cameraman kept hitting on me. It was very weird.
Oh, well,
I'm
see,
dumb.
that's a problem. As soon as cameramen start hitting on you, that would wig me out too.
Yeah, they were like, "What's your number? What do you do outside of cosplay?" I'm like, "No," I just walked away. This is not how you promote a show, ma'am. This is not how this works. Whatever.
Well, definitely looking for Fan Moguls when it comes out. So we'll keep an eye out on for that, Eric, and see what happens with that. That will be kind of awesome. Anything else about Here's a Cosplay?
Nope.
No.
So again, we don't have a lot to talk about now. A lot of stuff is starting next week. It's going to be crazy.
You skipped Orphan Black again.
I'm not there yet. I'm just saying, girl, let me do my thing.
Calm down.
Whatever.
Whatever. There's a lot of stuff coming out. I was saying that there's not a lot going on right now. There's a lot coming out on the 22nd. The one thing that we really have set up to talk about right now is Orphan Black. Orphan Black is interesting. I don't know what they're going with anything. Long story short, there were really two plot lines. It was all about Kira and it was all about Helena.
Yet I loved Allison and Donnie. They had some of the best scenes.
Oh, God, yeah. I don't know why I was thinking. Allison and Donnie, I don't think were like major, but they did have some of the best scenes.
Yes. Yes.
Oh that relationship, now that they know everything about each other and they're all clear and everything's clear, they are just blossoming. I love those two together. Yeah, Donnie accidentally killed what's-his-name. Who cares? They're just awesome together. The whole deal with them trying to hide the body while Vic was getting pressured by the cop to get some information. Just that whole dynamic was just so much fun to watch. Loved it. And the best part of the show, I think, was when Donnie, went out there with Vic and jumped in the van where they were monitoring everything going on and just started yelling at them, like, if I ever see you around here, I'm taking you down. And he took out his phone, took a picture of him, said, have a shitty day, and just took it off. Best moment ever.
Of course, Vic posed for it.
I know, Vic was awesome. He was like, this is just ridiculous, whatever. What? I mean, yeah, great. I love that Vic posed for it. I mean, it was just so good. I really love how Allison and Donnie have come into this thing.
That cop needed to stop. She was just getting on my nerves.
Yeah, I think that this episode was really kind of trying to close up some plots and storylines because they need to focus on other things. So that's what they were doing. Because she just was, it was like she's going after Moby Dick. Just quit it, Ahab. Just quit it. Just stop. So I think they hopefully will clear that up. I'm kind of tired of Vic. It's kind of funny that he always ends up popping in, having something horrible happen to him. But let's move on. There's only so many times you can see that. Helena, who has gone back to this crazy Prolethean camp, the leader of the Proletheans is using IVF to use harvested eggs to put his sperm in and then injecting them back into Helena and every other female of childbearing age at the compound.
Yes, all Helena and the Reverend Dude's kids. It's going to be...
Even his daughter. He did it to his daughter as well.
Yes.
I mean, that's...
messed up.
It was interesting, though, because his daughter, who always called Helena just like inhuman and she wasn't real, she wasn't a real person and everything, they actually started bonding a little bit. And it was really interesting when Helena realized, what was actually going on. She's like, well, that's not going to happen. So they're going to leave. The father comes out, locks the daughter in the thing, but Helena just takes him out, knocks him unconscious. The next thing he knows, and this was... Yes, Elizabeth's face. Next thing we know, we see the dude in the chair, in the stirrups, no pants, in the stirrups, strapped down, and she's got the little cow inseminator tool with all the different stuff. And he was like, would you like horse baby or would you like cow baby? And yes, just That, yes. Next thing we see after that happens is she's running up a hill and she looks back and she has torched the entire compound. So, are the Proletheans done? Are we not seeing any more Prolethean stuff? It seems like we've moved on from the Prolethean Neolutionist thing to just the dyad motivations, mostly, I'm guessing. I don't know. Are we done with Proletheans?
I don't know. I don't know where else to go with it. I mean, there's still the mom. Grace's mom was like out in California recruiting, so I bet she was just as crazy as the Reverend dude. So she may come after him.
Maybe so. Yeah, it's possible. I forgot about her being out there, so that could be something that pops up. Oh, that would be very interesting if Grace's mom showed up in this whole thing. Oh, and Amanda, just so you know, Eric says that you and him are going to talk at Derby City.
Okay, look at that.
Yeah, there you go. So let me know how that goes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. He does say, just to clarify, it's nowhere near Heroes of Cosplay. It's very much just going out and finding fan stories, which sounds kind of fun. So
That sounds good.
yes, Jay Salinas.
If those cameramen didn't hit on me. Ugh.
You could have been there if they had more professional cameramen. You could have been on there. So let's see. Jay Salinas, the swimming anime. If you know what it is, please give me the names. That's going to drive me crazy because I cannot. Is that? Oh, Free is a swimming anime.
Yes.
Got it. Now I got it. It's all coming back together somewhere. Sorry. Thank you, Jay Salinas, for clearing that up. Oh, hate it when I get confused and my comments come out of stream. Oh, by the way, I was also on a podcast with Eric last week. He's putting the audio up this week, so feel free to download that podcast and check it out. Anyway, so the other thing on Orphan Black, I know I'm like full of tangents today. So Cosima is still in pretty bad shape. They need the bone marrow from Kira. That's going to be how they get the thing. So it's this real, touching moment where they have to figure it out. And she goes and she asks Kira, and Kira says, will she die without it? It's like, maybe. So that little girl who's just so freaking adorable, every time she comes on screen, I want to cry. She says, okay. And they take her in to do a bone marrow transplant. So it was a really tough moment where, Sarah was sitting there crying while they put her under, and they have to screw into the bone and pull out the bone marrow, and it's not a pleasant experience, and she's going to be sore. But the real twist happens when turns out that Rachel disguised herself as Sarah and slipped past everybody and kidnapped Kira. What? It's all hell's going to break loose now because I say all hell's going to break loose now, but Dyad's got all the cards. I don't know what else Sarah can do, and even the preview said it had her sitting there saying, "This is my unconditional surrender." So what's going to happen?
Yeah, I mean, even Delphine, Rachel knew that Delphine was going to kind of double-cross her, so she set her up so that she would tell Sarah that there was something wrong, so she got Sarah out so she could sneak in as Sarah. It was crazy, and
it was super crazy, and now Kira's gone. And she drugged Felix. Sarah's going to be mad at Felix because she's going to blame him for not looking after Kira because he was in there, and it's just going to be crazy. I don't know what's going to happen with Orphan Black. I don't know. If anybody has any ideas, I would like to hear it.
And Nathan, I don't know if it's online or not. We've got it on demand.
Yeah, I don't know. Nathan wanted to know if Orphan Black is online. I'm not sure if it's online. It might be on BBC America. Not sure. I know that some of the other shows that they have are online, but I don't know. I have not seen it online, on demand. Sorry. It's a really good show. I hope they do have it online. Maybe Hulu or something will have it. I hope they do, because you should watch the show, especially Season 1. I thought Season 1 was brilliant. Season 2 has not been quite as brilliant to me, but I think it's still a strong show. But Season 1 was just brilliant. I thought it was great. Anything else you want to say about Orphan Black?
No, I'm trying to remember how many more episodes there are this season. It's just so it seems like it's building up to something like.
Yeah, I don't think there's many left. There might be one left, two left.
Something like that, yeah. And it's such a bummer that Kelly hasn't been on now that we're caught up and we can actually talk about it.
I know, Kelly. What the heck? We're finally caught up, and you haven't been on the past few weeks. That's just crazy. And I will not be on for the next few weeks too, because I'll be going to LA for VidCon, and then we're going to be in Austin for RTX. Is going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy for a while there. And Amanda's coming to Austin for RTX as well. Yay!
Yay.
So excited.
It's going to be great. If you are going to be in Austin the weekend of July 4th through 6th, you should go to RTX. It is a gaming expo here in town. It's really getting to be a big thing. But all of the Weird Girls are going to be there. We're even going to have a panel on Saturday the 5th at 12:30 in room 16. So come to RTX, get your pass, come see us at a panel. Tell your friends come see us at the panel. I would love to just pack this full of people so that everybody can meet Amanda and Danny and Kelly and Zombie, because Zombie started doing it. And we're about to start having a new contributor who is going to come in and start doing stuff about young adult literature and books and things like that. I'm really excited about that as well. And there are just all sorts of things. Heroes of Awesome, which is our own show about role-playing games, is going to be streaming starting this week. Should be in the next couple of days. Should finish that up and start streaming. I will say the audio is not so good on the first few episodes. Sorry, guys. We had some tech problems. We just had to roll with it. But hey, that's what you get for going low budget. Let me say that. That's what you get for going no budget. Zero. So, these things happen, but we fixed it, and all the later episodes, we fixed all that stuff, and it's getting a lot better, and we're really happy with it.
So funny!
Yeah, Elizabeth watched one of them. It's great. One of the girls is how old is it, Abby? She's 12, I
I think so. Yeah.
12, and it's just great seeing her role-playing as this big, tough, brute paladin. It's great. I love it. Anyway, so look for that stuff. We got a lot of stuff going on. Recaps that are going to be happening soon. Defiance is starting up June 19th, which is this week. Defiance is a fun show. It got better and better as the season went on last year. True Blood, Falling Skies, The Last Ship on June 22nd. That's next Sunday. The Leftovers on June 29th. 2 weeks from now. The Strain, Guillermo del Toro show starting on FX on July 13th. Doctor Who will be coming in August. Yes. Very excited about that. Walking Dead's coming back October 12th. Yes.
Long way away.
Long way away, but I'm excited about it.
Even longer Game of Thrones in April, and even longer, well, not as long, I guess, Downton in January.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Constantine's coming October 24th. That's the comic book show that we're all really excited about. The Flash should be coming in October. I think they named a date for The Flash yet, but I don't know what it is off the top of my head. Game of Thrones, right now we're thinking April of 2015. Oh my God.
And Legend of Korra should be coming up soon, but we don't know when.
Yes, Legend of Korra, the trailer for Legend of Korra
That's the
came
one
out
I
recently.
remember.
Yeah,
Super excited.
I saw that. I'm really excited about that one. Also, when does The Flash premiere?
October.
It's October something. I don't know the exact date yet. It's October something. I think it might be around the same time as Constantine, so around that October 24th date. But we'll see. I'll look it up. If anybody knows the date, let me know, because I don't know the date off the top of my head. We'll see. Maybe Eric knows the date. Eric, you're a big fan of that show. You know the date? No? Anything? Bueller? No? Okay. Nothing. We'll see about that. That was fun. So there's a lot of stuff that's going to be coming up pretty quick. Anybody else have anything you want to talk about on TV-wise before you go to the YouTube stuff real quick?
Go Spurs.
Go Spurs. Spurs won.
Go Spurs.
Man, you watch anything good on the YouTubes?
Right now I have one of my favorite cosplayers, Cortoon, keyed up to watch one of her newest vlogs. She's so fun to watch on YouTube.
I love.
Do you know Cortoon? Yeah.
I love her cosplays. She is one of my favorite cosplayers.
She's so fun to watch. I love watching her vlogs and seeing her cosplay. It's just so good.
Oh yeah, she's great. She's great. Elizabeth, what are you watching online?
People talk about how good the Spurs are.
Nah.
You're horrible at this. You're just horrible at this. Come on now. There
You
have been
asked,
some
I
really-
answered.
Yeah, that's true. There have been some really great videos about the Spurs. So
Thank you.
I know
Thank
the
you.
feels. When my college basketball and college football plays, I know the feels. Right now, I'm on a hiatus of my college. I watch baseball. I like it, but like I'm not passionate about it at all. So
yeah, it's hard for me to get passionate about that sport as well. And I like softball better than baseball, if that tells you anything. I don't know.
Tim Duncan. I mean, come on. It doesn't get any better than Tim Duncan. You know?
Tim Duncan's one of the best that's ever played, period.
Exactly. Most minutes, most doubles in the playoffs. He's won 3 championships in 3 decades. Come on. One other person did it, but he was sitting the bench on the last one, so it doesn't count. Tim's the only one that's actually started in 3 championships in 3 decades.
And he could still play. I already read people that are saying that if he comes back next year, they're going to give the Spurs the odds-on favorite to win again, because
with the way Pop rotates him and rests him, yeah, definitely.
But there's a question whether Tim Duncan or Popovich will be coming back next year. So we don't know. There's a chance that neither one of them can come back.
This is the last week I'll talk about him. It's over for this season. So. All
right. Well, some things that I've been watching on YouTube. I already talked about one was the Legend of Korra trailer, so check out the Legend of Korra trailer. The other thing that just cracked me up, this is really something that it's really only if you live in Austin or you're a fan of barbecue. If you're a fan of barbecue, you've probably heard of Franklin's Barbecue, which is a legendary barbecue place here in Austin, where people start lining up at like 9 in the morning. They open at 11, and they're out by 2. So it's a crazy, crazy legendary place in town. There's a video. It's one of those Hitler doesn't understand videos. You know what I'm talking about? It's Hitler doesn't get Franklin's Barbecue, and it is spot on what it's like to have to deal with barbecue in Austin. I loved it.
There are other places that are just as good that you only have to wait like half an hour, or not at all.
I will tell you a couple of them. La Barbecue, a trailer on the east side, and Freeman's, which is a bar in West Campus with great whiskey and some of the best barbecue in Austin.
Woo! Can we go there?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We'll
Don't forget Jay Miller.
I'm such a foodie. I can't wait to go.
Oh, you're a foodie?
Big time.
Oh, you and we're going to get along great.
Yes.
We will take you to restaurants, dear.
Not enough time.
Yeah. There are other places, but those are all the barbecues. So, I don't know. Anybody got anything else you want to talk about?
No. I posted a really, really funny picture. Let me see if I can quickly share it to you guys. My friend Melissa just made this picture and posted it to Facebook, and I died because it was so good. Let's see if I don't remember how to screen. Dang it, I don't remember how to screen share.
Little button on the left over the screen.
Maybe this will work. Hold on.
It's got to. Oh, almost.
So my friend, my friend Melissa. That's not the perfect thing ever.
That's perfect.
I liked the Daenerys. I want 1 ticket to How to Train My Dragon now.
No.
That's the best one. I loved it when I saw that picture. That was great.
Okay. Surprise Patrick is surprised at Oberon. Oh
yeah.
Well, all the feels.
All the feels. So just a few little things about the channel here. If you're watching the channel, excuse me, I just burped. If you're watching the channel, you you see stuff we're doing. So we are going to be at VidCon and RTX in the next few weeks. I'll be flying out to LA next week. So Danny Danger is going to be taking a short hiatus from doing pull list videos. There will be no pull list videos for the next 2 weeks or so until we get back on the swing of things with Danny's pull list videos. I might try to do some quick things from VidCon. We'll see. So the videos are going to slow down over the next couple of weeks. We'll finish off this week. Next week for VidCon and the following week for RTX, things will slow down a little bit. Still be doing the recaps, so the recaps will go on. I will not be on them, but we still will have people running the recaps, so make sure you keep tuning in and everything like that. You don't need me anyways. You guys are better without me. So just
so many technical difficulties. You have no idea.
I'm just going to make the computer work. Can I make the computer work? So make sure you keep watching, but stick with us through we go through this little hiatus. We've got some good stuff coming up over the next few weeks. We will start on the week of July 2nd, our new contributor. She will start coming in, Chandler Baker. We'll start coming in talking about young adult literature and books and things. I'm super excited about that. Zombie is starting to do more Let's Plays, so make sure you watch Zombie stuff as well. We're all going to be at RTX July 5th, 12:30, room 16 at RTX. Be there, be square. Anything else you guys want to talk about?
No.
No. Then we're going to call it a day. Say bye, everybody.
Bye.